All right, guys, today I have Ryan with me from Chiro Ads Academy. I am stoked to do this interview because you guys have seen a lot of success. We've been working together for almost 2 years now. And when you guys first came over, you had maybe 5 clients or so. You guys had proof of concept of knowing what you're doing. But really, we kind of started from ground zero and we built this business up to where you're now hitting 100K months. And I mean, I wish I could say, oh, yeah, I'll take the credit for that. But you guys are crushing it and you take so much action. And it's been really fun to work with you guys. And what I want to do in today's interview is I just want to interview you. I want to let all the people watching here know more about what you guys do. And from there, if they can take nuggets from it, whether it's your sales process, your marketing, your paid ads, or even just the growth of going from, ground zero idea to where you're at now. Yeah, that's what I want to cover today. So Ryan, dude, thank you so much for taking time today to do this with me.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks for having me. It's definitely a cool moment. Like you said, about 2-ish years ago, we started this, and from then to now, like new person, new business. I mean, life has changed to say the least.
Well, cool. I know. I mean, just from the outside looking in, I've just been like cheering you on. So, yeah, man, let's start off just telling people what it is that you guys do. What's your offer? Who do you help and how do you help them?
Absolutely. So our offer, it's called the Chiro Ads Academy, but essentially we help chiropractors that own their own business equip themselves with the skills to be able to take their Facebook and Instagram ads in-house. So we kind of do a done with you. So it's a little bit of done for you, a little bit of done with you combo. So kind of like a unique hybrid model, kind of similar to yours in a lot of ways, where we can kind of build out a go high level for them, set up AI, automation, landing pages. So that part, kind of the tech stuff we take care of for them. And then, from their experience, it's kind of a blend of one-to-one coaching in terms of, hey, here's how to shoot ads, here's how to manage ads, here's how to scale ads. So there's a lot in between all of there, but yeah, kind of a hybrid approach to where, essentially the docs we're working with are getting higher margins, better results, they're getting skill sets, and they're just in control of their growth. So that's a little bit about us, kind of the bullet points.
Yeah, and give some context because you also have, or you're part of a chiropractic business that kind of proved the model first, not just being like, hey, I'm going to teach chiropractors how to run. It's like y'all. I remember when you first started looking at the ads. The ads were great. They're not your
Mhm.
traditional like I don't know chiropractor ads. They're just like static images and kind of like
Yeah.
because you guys are throwing rocks essentially at other agencies because people come in run Chiro ads and they kind of look cheesy. So give us some
Mhm.
context on like how you guys came up with that, the strategy you guys give to your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of hit it on the head. It was from like in the trenches, as we call it. So my co-founder, his name's Dr. Travis Stewart. I actually managed his office, brick and mortar location for about 3 or 4 years. I think it was about almost 4 years. And we kind of went through this like agency hamster wheel, we called it. So we never like to talk down upon any specific like agencies. And there's a lot of great people we worked with, but when it came down to the business, the nuts and bolts, like nobody got us results. And from the inside out, we were always like, this could be so much better. It was like we always heard if you market to everyone, you market to no one, and these agencies would be having like, hey, we can solve every problem you can think of, like headaches, knee pain, neck pain. And we were like, why not just be like a specialist at one? So that was like an example of like an idea we had of like, hey, we can make this better. So then after I think it was like the fourth agency we fired, we're just like our pain threshold hit. It was either give up on Facebook ads or like let's do it ourselves. And we knew other people were having success with it. So it wasn't that Facebook ads didn't work. It was just like we haven't cracked the code yet. And we had a tougher market, which looking back, I'm really grateful for because that forced us to be better. So part of it, what you kind of mentioned, we made better ads. Like we actually used real ads, no static photo images, like real messaging ads, high quality edits, different styles, tons of variety. So between that, improving kind of the back end systems, like actually having like a VSL on our page, which was like nobody in the industry had. Better automations, integrating AI, like all these things were like, we should do this. We actually did it all. And between, Dr. Travis kind of leading the way and the charge in terms of innovating the creative side, setting the standard for what the ad should be, and me kind of working on go high level doing the back end thing, we figured it out. We scaled his practice from like we were doing like 10, 12K a month to for then it like went from like 60K to 70K. He's doing well over 100K in his brick and mortar now. So using those exact same systems, we had a lot of people asking us like, well, what are you guys doing? How are you doing it? And I took on like 3 or 4 clients, like other chiropractors that, were asking us, how we did it. Those 3, 4, 5 people we took on, they got even better results after we implemented the same systems with them. And then from there, like you said, proof of concept, we knew we had something. And then it's like, cool, well, like, how do we make a business of this? Which is then where our journey with you came. So it went from kind of sporadic, like no systems, Zoom calls, one-on-ones, you do this, to now something that, we have multiple employees, we have someone doing sales, someone helping with fulfillment, media, like it's a real business now. And it's super exciting because, we went from this in the trenches, like inspiration built out of pain of just things not working to now over 100K a month ourselves. So it's been quite the journey, a lot of growth.
Dude, it's been fun watching. And I want to hit on a point that you mentioned there. And this applies to everybody here, even if you have like an online service, is like you got to make better ads. And like
Mm,
when even for us, like we have people who like want to pay, who don't have, maybe they're doing like 20K a month or so, or even 10K a month. They're doing six figures and they want to run ads and they want to hire somebody to run their ads for them. And they don't want to create the ads. And I'm like, dude, you're leaving a lot of money on the table because like now more than ever, the market's more competitive. And the way you stand out
mhm.
is by making better ads. And if you just
Yep.
have vanilla cookie cutter, I'm looking for 5 ads or whatever, like those don't hit the same as they used to. But the ads that you guys run, like even for your clients, they're very personalized. Like they're just good ads. Like the hooks you guys
Mhm.
use, like I was just like, man, I was really impressed with it. So the system that you guys have built is all around taking them in house and being the person that makes the ads. And I just want to emphasize that because I know people are watching and just they want to outsource it, but like your ROAS is going to not be good if you don't like take the creative element and just like lead it full charge. So I just wanted to share that because I love the ads that you guys set people up with. Now, I believe you guys have like some standard ads that you guys do run. Like you've scripted them out, they've worked for you, and then you'll give those to the clients. Like, tell me more about the actual creation process that you do with the docs.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of reiterate what you said, creative is king. So, as much as I want to say the landing page tweaks and the automation tweaks and the AI bot had like definitely impact, like creative was king. You make better ads than everybody, and that solves most of your problems. So, with that, us leading the charge, creating some ads internally, me working with, at first 5, 6 people, now over 200, I have a pretty good idea in the chiropractic landscape of what's working and what's not working. So it's constantly changing, but we do have some staple ad frameworks, and everything we give is kind of rooted in fundamental marketing frameworks. I think keeping up with trends and different styles can be important, but I think if everything is rooted in, sound concepts, then those concepts and scripts and flows, whatever you want to call them, can apply to any kind of practice. Whether you're a chiropractor that only uses adjustment or use kind of fancy tools like spinal decompression or laser, or maybe you only specialize in the neck, whatever that is, you can still take those frameworks and showcase what makes you different. Say what only you can say, is, one of those core marketing concepts. So by you or by the doctors we work with who actually are growth minded and want to take ownership over their marketing, them being the face and having the doctor in the video brings so much more trust versus like a little photo that you smiling. I don't know.
Yeah.
So you're the authority, so much more trust. So yeah, ever evolving landscape of what's working now, but as long as it's rooted in core fundamentals and we have, as specific as possible details to help you execute. Because we found a lot of the bottlenecks with, hey, like, yeah, I want to make my own ads. And then all of a sudden they go to execute it and they're asking all these little questions that go in the like get in the way of it. Like, where should I put the light? What angle should I do? Should I use a teleprompter app? What time of day should I do it? How should I plan it out? Like all these little questions that got in the way of like them executing where I'm like, hey, let's solve all of these. So when you go in and actually shoot the ads, there's no guesswork. Like you go in, you're prepped, you click record. So that's the only thing you can focus on. And by helping them with those little details, the amount of content people can make, amount of ads people can shoot, and just how easy it is and what people are finding how actually fun it is, especially when you get a good ROI and you make one ad and it brings in a dozen, 2 dozen people, that feedback loop of like, hey, let me do this more. And just to keep ranting about it, like a lot of our docs will say, like their patients will come in and say, it was a sign, your ad spoke to me. And I'm like, that's how I know we've nailed it. I was like, okay, cool. Now do more of that. Keep it simple. Do more of that. Take that ad, iterate it, re-record it, change the script slightly. And as long as we do 80/20, more of what works, 20% being like, hey, we can still play around with different styles, then the path to sustainability and getting results, not just for a period of time, but for a long time, is not that difficult.
Yeah, man, I love that. I love that. Oh, you're speaking to me because I used to think it was like, oh, the landing page or the funnel or whatever, but it's like the ad that stomps somebody's scroll and captures their attention, sets the tone. It's the first impression. And if you have a little
Mm,
crappy ad, you might
mhm,
get leads. Like I noticed because I was a PT to start,
mm,
right? So like I was running ads for our PT clinic, and when I had no idea what I was doing, I was trying to give like guides away. I was like, get this low back guide, and we got a ton of leads, but they weren't really leads. They were just like people that just wanted a freebie opt in and they never ascended to being a client. And it's because I didn't know, right? And I was like, oh wow. But then once I started like it seemed the same as you is like learning how to capture attention and how important that first touch is. You could have a crappy funnel and people will still DM you. Like I don't know, for us, even like we'll have ads that go out and people will still DM us. They may not even go through the funnel, but they're like, hey dude, I saw your ad and I got to know more. What does it look like to work with you? And again, like I said, creative ads are king. All right, what I want to go into next is talk more about your offer. Like, I mean, we kind of talked about what you guys do, but then how do you do it in terms of like, client pays you, how long do you work with them? Generally, kind of what kind of range are they looking to invest with you guys? And then what's that client experience look like?
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that has definitely evolved from the last 2 years to even like making changes this week. The nuts and bolts of it, client pays us, it's 6 month experience with us, where once again, it's that kind of hybrid approach of one-to-one calls and some group calls, mostly one-to-one calls. I'm actually having a kind of an issue now to where I can no longer do one-to-one calls because of you and your systems and all of the stuff, where I actually have to like I had to bring somebody in for fulfillment, and now I have to do more group calls as I literally just can't handle it in my schedule, which is honestly a great problem to have. I'm grateful for that problem. But essentially, they sign up with us. They do a one-to-one onboarding call with me. I do like a really in-depth look of, their practice, what modalities they're using, what their market's like. And then from there, craft a really specific approach, choosing the specific conditions that are going to get the highest return for them. So when I'm helping them with their marketing strategy, once again, I have a really good idea of what's working now in terms of, hey, your practice would crush it with doing headaches and knee pain versus the other practice. If we just specialize in low back pain and sciatica, you're going to crush it. So I'm kind of using data and experience to help guide them. I'm also looking at utilization. Do you have another doc that maybe specializes in prenatal chiropractic that is just over there kind of, dancing around all day, not doing anything? I'm looking at bottlenecks. So if we only brought in people that use the decompression machine, which your practice break in a month, and, I always tell them, of course, I'm looking at who you like to work with too. We got to bring in people that light you up, not suck your energy. So that's the onboarding call. I'm helping them with the marketing strategy. I'm going over a little details on execution, what kind of ads they should make, different styles, and then essentially the video modules, which I modeled after the Growth Accelerator, step by step, no fluff, super concise modules that help them with the execution from, here's the script, here's how you shoot it. And they just follow that along until they send everything to our in-house video editing team. So they simply shoot ad, put it in Google folder, send to editor. Editor sends back. They do a couple other small things, kind of customize some copy and so forth. They watch modules, put ads and copy in Meta. I double check, ads are launched, and that's when the fun begins. But essentially, the first about 14 to 17 days is what I describe. And then it's, that blend of one-to-one and group coaching calls to make sure they actually know how to manage the ads, how to scale, when to kill an ad, when to duplicate an ad, when to make new ads. So all those questions that come up in terms of, ads management 101 into 201 and hopefully into 301 is really the bulk of their journey. But yeah, hopefully that gives you some clarity on kind of how we do things.
Yeah, one thing I kind of want to hit on because we know we also help clients with ads is a lot of people
Yeah.
think that Meta or running ads like the back end is like this mysterious black black
Nope.
box of like, I don't know how to do it. I need to pay somebody to do it. And it's actually not as hard as what people make it out to be. And that's
Yeah.
why both of us do more done with you stuff. Because if they were to do, done for you, it's going to cost them way more versus just like learning the skill one time and then having like a mentor like yourself or like myself. A lot of what we do is like once somebody has the ads launched, they can be part of the group with the renewal offer and they can still ask those one-on-one questions. Like you said, how do I film this? How do I do this? Or if there's an update on Meta's platform, which happens probably, at least once a quarter, if not more,
Yep.
they're there to guide it. But it saves them so much money, right? Compared to like what's the average chiropractor pay to an agency to run their ads in the first place?
Yeah, it's like probably averages like 2K a month just in retainer fees and probably another 1,500 to 2K just in ad spend. So you're looking at 4,500 a month forever for usually results that aren't quite good as whether you just own it and do it yourself.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. And like which you said 6 month offer. What's general kind of price point for that?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of more of a standard offer. They have, pay in full or installments, 7K pay in full, 9K over 6 months, so 1,500 a month. So yeah, trying to make it really a no-brainer here. For a lot of these docs, they sign up two, three, four people valued at like maybe $1,500 each. Then boom, that's your ROI, and people are usually on average making their ROI in terms of initial investment and ad spend back in about 6 weeks. So probably got to increase our prices pretty soon.
I believe keep tracking that. That's so helpful for you for marketing. And I've seen some of your marketing too that showcases that because those client results speak for themselves and you're saving the docs money, And I think that's hard for a lot of people when they're investing into a marketing service where they're learning things like they often want it done for them. But again, it doesn't always bring in better quality in terms, and most of the time it doesn't. But if you're the face of it, you're learning the skill one time and then you can have a cheaper renewal offer where people can keep getting support, but they're not paying 2 grand a month. It like infinite, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For mediocre results. So I love that offer. How do you guys get new clients? So talk to me from marketing to call booked, because I know you guys are using it. You guys are one of the first people that started using the AI booking bot, close
Hmm.
bot, and you
Yeah.
guys seen some pretty good success with it. So walk us through that, like, how do you get new clients?
Absolutely. So, in terms of our paid channel, like we do get a lot of referrals because I think we have a good product and, usually referrals, good product go hand in hand. But in terms of the paid avenue, Facebook and Instagram, we make, once again, the best ads we can, testing multiple different hooks. Just, we use the same process that we teach, which is great. Multiple hooks, different messaging. So we nail the ad, people see the ad. The ad's call to action is a free training, essentially inviting them to learn more about our system. And if they resonate with our system and kind of the expectations of how it would work for them, then they can simply just book a call. So extremely simple funnel. VSL funnel, we call it. So they see the ad, they go to our VSL or our free training where we provide some value, obviously position ourselves as the authority, as the expert, kind of use our proof in there under that video. They book a call. As I'm sure you know, and pretty standard in the industry, like most people making a kind of a big decision here, not just to take their ads in-house, but to just like book a call with someone they may have just seen through an ad. It requires this period of trust building. So that nurture sequence combination of text and email fires off after they opt in which one of our new tech stacks is a combination of SendBlue, so iMessages, so they don't have like an opt-out message. So the first text they get from us is something really simple that just says, "Hey John, saw you just opted into our free training. Can I send that link here?" Question mark. Super simple. Point of it, just get them to reply right away. They see the iMessage. It says like dot, dot, dot. So it feels like a real person. They're assuming it's a real person. They say, yeah, send it here. Perfect. Cool. We just take them through a couple basic, qualification system steps we got from the Growth Accelerator, which is like, cool. Do you own your own business? Yes. Cool. Are you running ads currently? So it just like makes it very easy then for them to respond. And then ultimately, if they are qualified, that AI booking bot using CloseBot, it's a third party that we integrated, will essentially get them all booked to where then now I'm using a platform called 11 Labs, which is AI voice generation. So I'm mixing it into my funnel a little bit more, but especially after they book, we send them a message from our sales rep, Nicholas. He's got a beautiful South African accent. So it's just like, hey, I saw you booked. I went through your website. I'm super excited for this. They're getting a real voice memo that's completely automated using that tech stack, which
So
they're
cool.
just like, hey, thanks for the message. Gets them excited, builds more trust, helps with our show rates, and ultimately, that tech stack, when I implemented that, not only made my life easier because I don't have to go and hire an appointment setter, manage. My plate's full, like pretty full. So I didn't have to hire anybody. I trust it. So like I'm looking at the messages and how it responds, and obviously I can tweak it how I want, but it does it the way I want. And ultimately the number of people booked, showing up, converting into our program has been quite substantial. And I don't think we're at 100K without that tech stack right now.
No, I don't think so either. I was really impressed. We experimented. So the tech stack, just to repeat, you've got Send Blue, which sends
Mhm.
iMessages essentially from Go High Level.
Yes.
You've got CloseBot, which is just you programmed it out with the questions, the prospecting questions to get them
Yeah.
to book a call, and then you got 11 Labs for when they do book a call. A custom voice memo with that person's name comes through that is
Hmm.
recorded via AI. Fire, right? Great tech stack. We tried
Yeah.
to send Blue for ours and didn't see we just burned a bunch of numbers. I
Mm.
think it's just because we have more of we have the free mini course, which is more of a lead magnet type thing, and people put a bunch of fake numbers in. So
Yeah.
it didn't work as well for us, but I know people are crushing it. What I really like about your funnel, at least from the numbers I have seen, is that the people that opt in are very qualified. And I think that's what makes the
Mm.
Send Blue work really well. It's like they're really
Yeah.
qualified and the amount of people that opt in to book, I remember seeing your numbers when we first started. It was like 20-25% of the people that opted in would end up booking a call. And I'm like,
Hmm.
whoa, bro. Because like industry standards for oftentimes for a VSL funnel is between 5 and 10, maybe 15%. But the messaging you guys have, which kind of speaks to your ads and speaks to the copy on your funnel, is pushing people who are not chiropractors and are looking for the service away. So when they are opting in, your tech stack plus just the copy that you've got, it really makes your funnel like just work.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's allowed us to scale. I put more money in, I get more money out. Obviously, it's not perfect scalability, but that being the concept, like why not spend more money? So I think we started out spending like $3,000 a month. We went to 4,000, 5,000. We're like 11,000 this month. And it's, once you have a machine that prints money, obviously modeled from your simple funnel, and I love the word simple. The more I'm in business now, I'm like, how can I simplify everything? But yeah, the more money I put into this money printing system, if you just strip it away, what is it? You put money in, you get money out. Why not put more money in? So that's one thing that we're just continue to do and as we grow.
Yeah, I love that. All right, tell me more about the team, right? So you mentioned yeah, you guys started with just you, and it was like kind of unorganized. You're taking some calls. Some people got the Go High Level set up. Some people didn't. Some your hands were in some people's ad accounts. Some you're kind of consulting. So like, what does the team look like now? Because it looks a lot cleaner from the outside, from the client delivery, as we just talked about. But what does the team look like to run this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I couldn't do it without co-founder, Dr. Travis, obviously. So he, in terms of his main role, is he's our marketer, he's our promoter, he's the face of the brand, he's the chiropractor. He's currently in the business. His brick and mortar still, so I'm still testing things on his account, kind of using it as this little kind of like test dummy account for innovation. But he's the face of the brand. So, it was him and I to start. Now the first hire I actually made was sales. So I was doing all of the sales, which, I think we have a very sturdy foundation in terms of like our process, discovery call, like a triage call to the actual sales call, using kind of the framework from the growth accelerator. I enjoyed sales anytime I can get in front of like a new like department so I can up level myself and learn more skills as a business owner. I'm going to always take that challenge on. So it was fun for me to do it, but if I have to be honest with myself, am I like a natural born salesman? Like probably not. So I had some motivation to not only just outsource it based on like performance, but my schedule was full. So like me trying to like fit in different calls, like my calendar availability was limited, which affected the amount of people booking. So I brought on sales rep. Found out I was a little bit better at training than doing it. But essentially I put in like 20 hours to train him before he took a call. His first month, he was at like 30% conversion rate. Since then, he's been averaging like 50, 55, 60%. So that hire, it
Dang.
took a little bit more time to invest in training him. But that 20 hours has paid off. That's probably been one of the greatest ROIs I've had in business. Investing in him, someone that was talented, had experience, took over that role, did better than I did, because that was kind of just his wheelhouse. So now all my time has been bought back. The business is growing. He's doing better than me. So that was like my first hire experience in this business, which was a little bit scary, but through, your guidance, and you have Jared over there at the Growth Accelerator who mentored us one to one. So as much as like I want to take credit for me doing it, I just kind of borrowed what Jared said and what you guys did, to be honest, which is once again rooted in just sound business fundamentals, where if you follow the formula with a little bit of reps and practice, like it'll work for you. And just how much is the question. So that was hire one. Hire two was we brought in essentially a video editing team to make everyone in the program's life easier. So my lens and where my like heart lies is how can I make the product as good as possible, which is how can I usually make it easier for the doctors to get their ads launched and run the ads. Found out very quick if we just have somebody where they can just a team, they can just send the videos to and send them back in a reasonable time. That was super helpful. So that video editing hire started with one person. Now there's three people. So I'm managing that. And then now we have, I do have like a VA who helps me with some back end stuff. So that was kind of the in-between hire who helped me buy some of my time back. And then we have a kind of a jack of all trades. Her name is Jess, but she's kind of helping with fulfillment as well as a little bit of content management. So she's kind of this like jack of all trades. So that's kind of a look at the main players in our team right now. So like when we're doing our team calls and our monthly, weekly check-ins and KPI reviews, like we're running a business now. I'm like, we went from just like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks to like doing official quarterly meetings now. So that's a good feeling.
This is a great feeling. I mean, dude, I remember when you were doing everything and then you'd have our
Hmm.
calls and you were just like exhausted. Bro, you're like I'm taking calls all day. This is my calendar. You showed me your Google Calendar. It was just all like just filled in. And I was like, you're like, what can I do? I'm like, I mean, you don't have much space to do anything.
Hmm.
So it's been really cool seeing you now, like higher sales, getting that off your plate. That takes up so much calendar space. Even if you have no shows, reschedules, calls, onboarding, like it's just a lot. So like, but that also is like part of business when you start is
Yeah.
kind of have to, like you said, you wore all the hats, you learn them. Then once you were
Yeah.
good enough and had enough profit to be able to hire somebody, you guys did. You guys did a really good job of doing it sequentially, not to where like you made investments you didn't have cash flow for. Again, another issue I see a lot of people when they start is they just want to
Mm.
hire a full team and they don't have the margins for it. And I'm like, cool. And
Yeah.
you're taking 10% home now. You're working your face off,
Hmm.
you know? And you guys did a good job of like, it is stressful. Like when you first start, you're doing everything, but you guys did a good job of owning that and being like, hey, this is a phase that we have to go through and just like learn how to do before we can just hire somebody.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I just remember, after you first hired that first sales rep, like the calls that we had went from like, oh, I have so much to do to being like, all right, what can I do now? Like you had this
Yeah.
energy and motivation to build or work on the next thing. And that was just from those hires, getting the stuff, getting things off of your plate so you can take on more projects to work on the business,
Yeah.
instead of like in it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Put on the CEO hat's the most important. Managing the people, what new projects can we do to grow the business, continue the growth, scale, all the fun stuff. So yeah, you hit it on the head.
Yeah. Tell us, what are you focusing on the next 3 to 6 months now? It sounds like you got sales off your plate. You're dialing fulfillment in. You're doing the video editing for the clients, which is a great little value add there. What's the future look like for you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think, or Mosey said it, but if you're a business kind of making less than 3 million a year, you probably have a bottleneck and constraint with marketing. So now that, I have the systems in place to handle more call volume, my fulfillment, is now more scalable to where I can actually, have the bandwidth to take that on. How do we get as many people through the funnel as possible? So, looking at optimizing our paid channels, so possibly going from Facebook and Instagram to also YouTube. So, always doubling down on what works. So 80/20, which is 80%, how can we do more and better in terms of our paid? So continuously innovating and testing, possibly bringing on YouTube, looking at internal referral systems, making sure we have systematized asks throughout kind of their journeys. They say something good, we ask for a referral. So like that along with kind of monthly check-in calls. So how can we bring more people through? we're working on organic content. Ultimately brand, I think, is super important. And brand is like kind of this like big term people throw around. But like I think brand is, kind of your reputation. So, the product speaks for itself. So I think, always making the product better so we can get more referrals, have a good reputation. But with the Instagram stuff, how can we get in front of other people's audiences? How can we associate ourselves with other industry leaders? How can we show up to these in-person events and actually like be rooted in, which is rare these days, be rooted in like real life scenarios rather than being all digital. So a lot of focus going forward is really let's maximize marketing. We have this window of an amazing product, so let's pour fuel on the fire. So that as well as a back end offer, which is a little bit with our model. So excited for that. We don't have that completely dialed in yet, but some version of a mastermind is coming soon as well to make sure we're capitalizing not just on pouring fuel on the fire, but lifetime value, being able to add value after the 6 months that they're in the program. So that's a lot there, a lot of work, but I'm excited to do it, and that's what lights me up. So I'm fired up, honestly.
Yeah, I love that, man. I think people don't focus enough on brand, but like I want to say brand, even just the in-person stuff you said, that makes your ads way more profitable because someone sees you in
Hmm.
person and then they see your ad. It's a totally
Yeah.
different feel. It's like a follower seeing your ad. Like they're way more likely to click
Mm.
on it because they already know you exist. And if you're everywhere or you start getting plugged into other people's communities and you're running ads, it's like it just cranks up your
Mm.
ROAS, and then so does the back end offer because that's
Yeah.
most of the time. Like if your acquisition, let's just say for your offer, if it's a $7,500 offer, 7 to 9K, it might cost you 2K, 2,500 to get a client. But when you do a renewal offer, there's $0 to get a client. You just keep them and you just help them with the next problem they have. And your margin or even your ROAS on the full product or lifetime value goes from like, for 3 to 5x to like 8 to 10, just like that by making a new offer like that. And that's helped us. Like sometimes when we have slower months on the front end, whether there's a change on Meta's front or we're testing a new funnel, there's going to be dips in the front end. But always for us, the back end has always kept us profitable. Always.
Yeah.
Because like we can go, we might be able to go a full month or two without any front end sales and still be profitable, which is like a blessing to have. So I'm excited for you guys to step into more of that too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's just stacking the skills, more problems to solve, more skills. So it's the journey. And yeah, it's a cool moment because I mean, your business, your program growth accelerator, just that's what it is. Like for me to be able to in less than 2 years go from essentially like 4 or 5K a month to 100K, like the average person doesn't do that. So like the fact that you were able to like guide me, be there every step of the way for every problem I have to probably and even have the materials pre-built out. Like you knew what my next problem or bottleneck was going to be just based on the flow of everything. So you were like, not only one step ahead, but three, four, five. So yeah, I think having a someone in your corner, a mentor who's been there, done that, and is continuously growing and innovating as you are. I've seen you guys grow from, I remember like you were probably doing like 100K, and now that's probably just in recurring revenue now. So it's we're on the journey together. So it's been an honor, man.
Cool. Well, dude, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm excited to continue to support you guys and see what you guys create. If I kind of look back, it's like you prove the model, you tested the
Mm.
model, and then you have continued to refine it. And like you can tell how passionate you are just about the product delivery and the experience that people get. So I know that they're in good hands. So it makes me really excited and it's easy for me to support you guys because I know that the product that you guys have works and like you put so much of your blood, sweat, tears, and into this thing to get it to where it is. So, kudos to you and your team. It's again, it's been so fun working with y'all. Yeah, man. Let's wrap this thing up. I'd love to hear like any like last minute like tips, advice that you got for people here, and then tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess last minute tips kind of came up as you were speaking about something earlier, but just like this concept of like skills. If you're going to be a business owner and you want to like get to the next level, like no one's coming to save you. There's no going around it. Like you just have to get better. So you can either, learn everything by yourself and fail and it take way longer, or you can actually like have somebody that's been there, done that, and like get a mentor. So to me, it's like a no-brainer. How can I pay down my ignorance tax? What you don't know, what you don't know. So you might as well get with the community and get with the mentor and get with the team that does. So, I mean, whether that's, if you're a health coach with the growth accelerator or you're a chiropractor who wants to like take control of your growth and you're growth minded and you want to get better and you want to go, you want to scale, whatever that is for you. Everyone has like a different reason and why, then it just seems like a no-brainer just to be around people that are doing it. So that would be my advice, whether it's Growth Accelerator or with us, just get around people that are doing this, that are ahead of you, and you'll soak in that energy. You have people to bounce things back on. So that would be like my one tactical like takeaway, big, bigger concept. But also, I think somebody told me that a long time ago, someone that ran $100 million company. I did that and I like where I'm at right now and where I'm headed. So makingmoves.com, you can go ahead and, see our free training there. If our system resonates with you, you're a chiropractor, then obviously, book a call. But find us on Instagram at makingmoves_chiros and you should be able to link up.
Cool. And you'll see all their ads too. You'll be hit with all of them instantaneously.
All of them. Yes, you will.
Well, Ryan, dude, thank you again for taking time today to be with me to share some tips, just what your journey's been like. So again, I can't thank you enough. And yeah, man, I'm so proud of the work that you guys have been putting in for this.
I wouldn't be here without you. So I appreciate that, man. It was an honor, and I'll be looking forward to connecting with you again soon.
All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up, guys. If you guys want more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button and then go look up Ryan and the team at Making Moves. Yeah.
.com.
.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Matt.